And she saved the other half for Claire because she figured she's going to need it because clearly Jake's going to treat her like trash. So he told her to go wash up, and she was like, well, where should I go? And he was like, to the bathroom, you know? And she's like, I mean, but where? And he's like, show me, like, where? You been, like, where you guys slept? So she took him down to the basement. And then she could tell he was, like, clearly visibly upset. Because, like, clearly these women were getting treated horribly. Like, this wasn't about a dynamic of a dom and a sub. This was about just trying to just make a person feel like they were worthless. Like, he feels like they bought him, you're nothing, and I can treat you like trash. And that's just the whole purpose of the auction, is for you to be able to get someone that likes the type of shit that you like. Yes, you pay some, a lot of money, but there's an extensive, there's supposed to be these backgrounds and these tests and things like that. And so that's what you're paying for, but not to just treat a person just so horrible. It was just on a whole nother level how this guy was. And so he told her, go get your purse. And he's like, just come to my room. And so, of course, his room's super nice. It's got a jacuzzi. So he tells her to go take a shower. And he gave her a shirt and some sweats that she could put on. So Ben notices that she looks really tired. So he told her, you can take a nap. So while she was taking a nap, he went downstairs and he wanted to know if Jake had tried to call Tyrell again. And he said he hadn't. And Ben told him, well, try again now. It's because he did not want to be stuck in this cabin all week with him. Like, he really can't stand this dude. So then Jason and Vince come with their girls. They're all drunk. And after this, him and Kamani, like, she was upstairs. And she's taking her nap, and then she came down, and she was there when, like, Vince and Jason and their girls came. And so after they talked a little bit, Kamani and Ben go back upstairs, and he's just kind of start asking her questions, just trying to get to know her. And then they get to the subject of BDSM, and of course she doesn't have an answer to what her hard limits are, because she really isn't into it. This is just some shit that she checked off because she's trying to go for the highest price, as well as she's trying to get the guy that did this to Marissa. So he tells her that, her safe word can be mercy. And then we find out a little bit about him. His family, Ben's family, like, they're super rich. So they're worth like a good 12 or 13 billion dollars. And he had went to Howard University, which is a HBCU. And he kind of did it to piss off his father. And they find out they're both, fans of basketball, and they have a little nice rapport talking about that. So while they go outside, they're sitting outside, they're conversing, and she brings up sex. And he tells her it was hot. He said it, it was kind of hot. He's like, I want to fuck you. He's like, I want to do you till you can't walk for weeks, torment you in rapture that will have you sobbing. He said, in short, I'm going to devastate you. I was like, oh gosh, that's scary. So the other girls and guys, they come back, and Jake yells that all the sluts have to go and sit at a different table. And Kamani tries to get a little insight to the girls. And basically, they all want a rich man so that they can have expensive things, drive nice cars, and live in mansions. Like, that is literally what they strive to be and to do. And so there really isn't any depth to him. And so Kamani's getting all worked up because, she's like, oh, you don't want anyone to care about you and all this bullshit. And I'm like, listen, you got to understand that these women have a certain ideal. And it doesn't match what you think, right? Like, you're on a feminist tip. They don't feel that way. And there's nothing wrong with them for not feeling that way. Don't try and impose your shit on them because you hate when people do it to you. And so that was my problem with her. It was like you are talking to a brick wall. These women feel the way they feel, want what they want, and that's not going to change because you come around here and tell them that they should want to be loved. Okay? That's not going to happen. So she was getting on my nerves. Like, she really was. Because I was like, this is a waste of breath. There's no point in you trying to have this discussion with these women. There's just not. And so then Jake, he comes over and he makes Claire like suck his dick. And then when Kamani gets up to walk by, well, to leave the table, he's like, I bet you want some too, slut. And when she said, I'd rather puke, he grabs her ear, and then Ben walks up and he tells him, oh, I was trying to teach her some manners. So then Kamani follows Ben away from everyone, and he starts to give her like a massage. So of course the massage feels great, and she starts to relax, and she's getting turned on because like Ben has a nice voice, Ben smells good, you know, the whole manly smell, just oof. And so he asks her, you know, what turns you on, and she can't really answer because she says the best orgasms that she's ever had, it was from a vibrator. And so he's like, oh, that's definitely something we're going to have to rectify for you. And she's like, and you are that confident you're going to be able to? He's like, oh, yeah, I am. I've had enough practice. Trust me. So he slowly makes his way down to her clit, and she's soaking wet. Duh, she's going to be. And he starts like making her come like multiple times. And then like the last time he made her squirt, the girl had never squirted before in her life. She was soaking wet. The sweats he had given her, they were just done. And she screamed so loud when she came. Oh my gosh. So she went upstairs with him, and then she asked him to use his phone. And he went downstairs to talk to Jake for a moment to try again to set up that meeting with Terrell. He is dead ass trying to get that meeting set up so he can get the fuck out of here. And so they pretty much are going to try and set something up for this coming week. I guess the following week, next week. And Jake was, you know, trying to get more details as far as like the money wise, like, you know, what are you going to offer him? And he's like, listen, we got some numbers, you know, we'll give him $2 million, you know. And he's like, oh, he wants more than that. And it was like, well, you know, we can just negotiate, you know, but we can have a starting point. You know what I'm saying? And so then he goes back upstairs, and he hears Kamani on the phone. And I guess earlier she had said before like that it was a he. Then she talking about something, it's a she. Then she said she got confused because, you know, she's just getting used to the fact that he's just that, you know, Sam is a transsexual. I say, well, damn, she's just trying everything. So of course Ben himself is like, something's off. I need to look into this guy, you know. And so, which to me, I'm like, you so dumb, girl. Why would you not delete the fucking text message that you sent? She didn't delete it, right? So now he knows her real name because she had told people there that her name was Montana. And he was like, I don't know a lot of black girls named Montana. She's like, well, now you do. So he knows her real name is Kamani, and he tells her that. He's like, yeah, I saw it in the text message, you know, that you sent. So he, of course, Ben is in the back of his mind like, you know, I'm going to have to look up who this Sam is because something's definitely off, you know. So then the girls are ordered back down to the basement, and Kamani decides she's going to go with them as well because she just doesn't trust herself around Ben. I mean, hell, the man just made you squirt. You are probably going to fuck him tonight if you stay. So she's trying to have some type of journalist integrity. So she's trying to maintain. Girl, to me, you've already failed. You let the man make you come. You've already failed. So The next day, everyone is going out on the boat. Jake told the girls, aka the sluts, that they would have to be naked. Kamani thought Ben was going to get her out of it, but Ben was like, he wanted to see how far she was willing to go. And so she took off her clothes and she was sitting there with the other women. Ben and Vince went water skiing. And then she pissed me off again because she started that bullshit trying to talk to the women about being respected and wanting a man that loves them and all this type of shit. And them girls just they weren't trying to hear it. They were like, listen, what's important is money. That's what's important to us. So we don't really care about what you're spitting. You're kind of boring us and you're bringing the vibe down. Like, they are very much, my thing is, even if I don't choose to live my life like that, if that's where they are, you got to respect where they are, right? That's where you are. Leave them there. Don't keep trying to be Captain Save a fucking hoe. They clearly have a thought process about what they want in a man, you know? And if they like these type of guys, you just got to let them be. And she kept trying to, like, impose what she felt they should want. No, at some point you have to look at it. Listen, if you like trash, you like trash. And that's on you, you know? It's not your life, it's their life. So she got on my nerves with that shit. Like, she really did. And one of the girls told her again, like, you just bringing out the vibe. Like, you're clear, you want, you know, oh, would you stop? So, she finally backed off when she saw clearly she wasn't getting anywhere. So this is a waste of your fucking breath. Stop. So then when Ben came back, she kind of gave him the cold shoulder because she was pissed. And so then he starts asking her questions again about that Scarlet auction. And so he just finds it weird that she signed up for an auction, but yet she has so many hang-ups about the dom and sub dynamic. And so Jake makes the girls put like suntan lotion on each other, and he even made Claire eat out Ryan, the other girl who came with Jason, I think it was. He made her go down on her, and then he started fucking her from behind. And so then Ben, of course, asked her, you know, if she'd ever been with a woman, and she was like, she had only kissed the girl, you know, when she was drunk in college. And so then he, of course, like, actually Jake bumped in, and he was like, hey, let's switch it up. Let's make Slut 2 and Slut 3 go at it. And so Ben was like, nah, I want her to myself. And so Jake's like, oh, you're no fun, you know. So then, of course, like, she's taken into the moment. She's seeing this erotic shit happen in front of her. And so he, of course, starts to finger her and makes her come again. And so when they went back to the house, she had asked him to use the phone again. And, of course, she went in the bathroom to use it. And he heard her saying something about his uncle who's running for mayor. And basically, she was just saying how, oh, my gosh, you've gotten so much good information. Like, just keep digging. And so, of course, when she opens up the bathroom door and Ben's standing right there, like, she's looking crazy. She's all startled. And then she left the room. So then Ben's like, you know, basically, fuck it. Let me call my contact in Thailand and see what he found about that Sam. So he finds out Sam's he's married to a man and he has 2 children, and that he works for that San Francisco Chronicle. And so then he's like, you know what? Something's fishy going on. He's like, listen, I need you to look up somebody. Her name's Kamani. He's like, I don't have a last name, but she's an African American woman. She's about 27. She went to Stanford. He's like, I need you to get me some information. And so that's where the book goes off. So this one's kind of short. This one, the books aren't going to be that long. So sometimes I might even do maybe 2 books or something. I'm not going to promise that because that might be too much. But there's a possibility I could do like 2 books with these because they're kind of short. So that's where this book leaves off. And so then our next book is going to be Ravaged. Ooh. So that one I'm going to try and get to you guys by this Friday. Let me know what you guys think of the characters. Do you think you could participate in such an auction with such high stakes money wise? Let me know in the comment section, in the discussion board. I'll probably put the question in the discussion board. And let's talk about it. Could you really think you could do something like this? As always, thank you guys so much for your support and for tuning into the Always Reading Book Club.